Hello, David Zaritsky for the Bond Experience. Welcome back. Well, listen, if you're a fan, and I think you are, of the James Bond soundtracks, you are absolutely going to love this particular video podcast. And by the way, it happens with a good friend of mine named Blair, who's going to be acting as our UK correspondent for a lot of the different events that, well, I just can't make it to. So we need to have our tendrils out there like Spectre in the international sector. So Blair, thank you so much for doing this. Again, if you like soundtracks, you're going to love this, and a little taste of Aston Martin. Off to you, Blair.
Hi there, Blair Ballard, International Correspondent for the Bond Experience. Welcome to London, or to be more precise, welcome to Aston Martin's flagship showroom here on Park Lane in London's exclusive Mayfair, home to James Bond's company cars of choice, and for 1 month, home to a rather special exhibition showcasing James Bond's soundtracks for the past 50 years. Later on we'll be meeting Andrew Heaps, the founder of Art Vinyl, but let's have a look around the showroom first of all. Come on. So before we meet Andrew Heaps, here are a few bits and pieces you can pick up when you come by Aston's showroom here on Park Lane. First of all, I spotted these rather nice driving shoes by John Lobb, bespoke obviously, but actually designed by Marek Reichman, who's the chief designer for Aston Martin. Rather nice. You follow me around here past this gorgeous silver birch DB5. Rather nice bike here, all carbon fibre. It's got a head-up display here which displays not only your speed obviously but the humidity and so on and so forth, and it's logged. There's a battery down here. It's all of course made of carbon fibre. Only 77 made in total to match the hypercar that they've designed, the 177, again of which only 77 were made. If you come around here as well, there's a rather tasty hamper. Everything obviously completely handmade, available in silver as well for cups if you prefer. Designed for just 2 people obviously. You can leave the kids at home. So you get china plates, you get Irish damask linen, champagne flutes. Absolutely fantastic. Lovely leatherwork here as well. Absolutely gorgeous. And then if you come around here, we'll have a quick look at some of the artwork on display. Some nice leather bespoke luggage as well to fit in the back of your Vanquish. So here we have Andrew Hicks. Nice to see you. Thanks for having us today. So do you want to tell us a bit about how this all came about?
Yeah, it was very by chance originally. I'm obviously very keen on vinyl records. That's why I started on vinyl, of course. But we do exhibitions all around the world, and one of the last exhibitions we did was Aston Martin's Lane here in London. And Aston Martin approached us off the back of that and said, "Do you want to do an exhibition here at Aston?" I said, "Well, yes, that'd be lovely, but can we do it? Can we do it Bond related? Because obviously that's what I'm obviously quite passionate about as well, and obviously the association with the car. So we brought the exhibition here to showcase some of the fantastic record sleeves that existed over the many years, which is actually now 50 years of Bond soundtracks, which is, I suppose, everyone last year was celebrating 50 years of Bond, but the actual first soundtrack is 50 years in June, just gone.
Right, yes.
The Doctor No soundtrack actually came out.
It was released afterwards, wasn't it?
Came out afterwards,
Yeah.
so we're now 50 years, so this is a real timely celebration that's going on.
And a celebration for Aston Martin as well, who are celebrating their 100th anniversary.
Exactly, it's all those
Doing it together nicely.
The coincidences that happen, so it's fantastic.
Great stuff. Well, do you want to show us around? Look behind you quickly. If you have a look behind you, Jamie, there's a lovely silver birch DB5 there, which actually belongs to the designer of
That's right.
the Art Vinyl.
Yeah, that's right. I designed it when that's the Aston. So it's one of those exceptional merchandising accessories that one could only dream of having.
Business is good, obviously, as well. Yeah. Well, lovely. Great stuff. Well, let's go through. Let's follow us through, Jim. Let's have a look. It's a lovely layout. It's a great space.
Yeah, so back here we've got a little bit more sort of like time to look at the pieces of artwork that we've got on show here. I think what's really interesting is that I love the kind of montage stuff, but not all of them, I would say, are actually probably been put together in a great sort of like design-led way. I think even if we look at this first one here, the Majesty Secret Service, we can probably even see the kind of very kind of crude cutting out almost of the original poster to create the sleeve design. But bizarrely, what's actually more interesting is when you open it up and have a look inside, there's probably a little bit more work has gone into that.
Ah, yes indeed, yes indeed.
So I mean that's the kind of the essence of this, is that sometimes you start looking at these wonderful pieces of work. In actual fact, insides have got some great pieces of artwork. The reverse have got great pieces of artwork. I mean, this was the 10th anniversary back in the day. So this was at a time when clearly 10 years was important. But
it's funny. 40 years on from there, and we're still going strong.
Yeah, football. Yeah, indeed. So we've got various different examples in the exhibition. We've always championed art vinyl is affordable art, and the beauty of these records that you see up here. They're all quite affordable, whether it be from second-hand record shops, from eBay, the likes. But at the same time, there are some Bond records out there that are obviously a lot rarer. Depends on their condition. But at the same time, I think they're great pieces of collectible art that I remember, probably as we all do, of being of a certain age as a child, looking at these. At the time when we didn't have video and DVD, all we had as an image for that Bond film might well have been the soundtrack that had come courtesy of Woolworths and my dad's record collection.
And they would have the posters and the soundtracks themselves would have the montage of the action going on the film, the Bond car that was going to be for that particular film.
I think it was everything was kind of put together, and it was a style that was done. You saw a lot of posters at the time. A lot of the war movie posters at the time were also done like that as well. Which it was all about the montage, capturing everything.
The action, the gadgets, the girls. It was absolutely the essence of the film, wasn't it?
I think what's interesting is we go around as well as some of the compilations that were done were also quite interesting as well. Obviously, they were sort of like taking a lot of some of the slight stereotypes here, maybe, but also adding some of the fantastic stills from the shows as well. I mean, I think what's interesting is when we get into the 80s that you see lovely pieces of work here. One of my particular favourites is the License to Kill, which is probably quite basic. It's just obviously got the swirl effect from the barrel with said James Bond inside, but it's really worked well. And I think these three together really show how that's obviously the imagery that will almost certainly be there for the end of time.
Yeah, absolutely.
And with vinyl records, what we've also got happening is this is obviously the Skyfall soundtrack that was recently released. You get lots of extra stuff with the vinyl records as well. So in here, if you have a look inside here, this is actually the booklet that comes from the latest Skyfall soundtrack. And so in there, you have all additional stills as well.
Wow, great stuff.
So it's really nice
the
way
proper...
so it's a piece of art in itself, but it's something that you've got access to immediately.
It does give you a lot more than just a download from iTunes. I mean, having something physical in your hands, and again, obviously, a piece of art as well with your with the display. It's fantastic, absolutely. Do you have any favourite soundtracks yourself?
I think we actually got the one in the window, Doctor No, which was all done by Monty Norman, who we're familiar with now. Just by another strange coincidence, Monty Norman was one of our first customers at Art Vinyl as well. And I had a bit of a starstruck moment when he called the office, and once he said his name, obviously, I did have to quiz him. There probably wasn't that many Monty Norman So he was. So I was obviously particularly chuffed at that moment that he recognised a nice product that he wanted to fix his own record.
Randomly enough, my other half, the gallery she works in, have the actual piano he composed the song.
Fantastic.
Yeah, in the collection. They must get another piece for Bond Experience there as well, possibly. But I mean, it's a great and such an innovation as well. It's such a great idea. Combining obviously the art and the music together in one. It's such a clever idea. Really, such a great idea. And there are lots of guys who are collectors who really appreciate the artwork, really appreciate the original vinyl as well. And so having something like this to use to display their collection, instead of having it stacked up possibly or out of the way, actually having it on display and having it part of the collection.
I think what we've always wanted to do is people to see what's going on here and hopefully inspire themselves to do something like this in your own home. Obviously this is a lovely, beautiful, glamorous location for us to be showing this. But I think, there's no reason why you can't have your own James Bond gallery show.
Believe some of our viewers actually have big rooms dedicated to their Bond props and so on and so forth. But actually having their albums on display as well will be a fantastic addition to their collections. Great stuff. Well, look, Andrew, thanks so much for having us.
That's right.
We'll have another wander around actually and have a nose around the Aston side of things as well. But it's a great display. And if you want to come down, guys, the exhibition launch on the 23rd of August.
Yeah.
Great stuff. So if you're in town, if you're in London, pop down to Park Lane, pop into Aston, and come have a nose around. It's great. Okay, this is Blair Ballard for Bond Experience. Back to you, David, in the States. Thanks a lot.
Blair, that was amazing, absolutely amazing. I'm so jealous of all those different LPs, and what a great interview. By the way, that DB5, holy cow. Did you get to sit in it, is what I want to know. Anyway, Blair, thanks very much for that. This has been David Zaritsky and Blair for the Bond Experience. We're going to see you very soon. Take care now.